What is good, ladies and gentlemen of the SFJ Nation? How y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all straight? Alright, cool. Well, you read the title of the video. Oh, by the way, before I even get into this, me and Shizzy, me and 6 Seconds, VI Seconds, got a song coming together, got a video coming called Demons, man. Stay tuned for more of that. It's going to be dropping next week. Tuesday next week. Yeah, I know. Tuesday is the day because I didn't want to drop on Saturday because Crip just dropped. And I didn't want to wait a whole nother week to drop. So, as of right now, Tuesday, but y'all know how my schedule will be. It might change, so stay very tuned to that. Stay very tuned. So, KSI vs. Logan Paul 2 went down last night. I live streamed some of my commentary for I guess I didn't live stream any commentary. I was supposed to live stream some commentary, but I ended up passing out after my first live because that was a late fight for me. I was like, yeah, I'm good on that. But I watched it. I watched the aftermath. I saw what happened, and I think it's time to give my 2 cents because, hold up. I was right. Yeah. Hold up. I was right. Wait. Okay, I thought my camera was shaking. I was right. My prediction came true. Almost exactly how I said it. Now let's get right into it. The winner was KSI. KSI won. Like I said, like I knew he was going to win. But we're going to break it down round for round. Now, I'm not going to put any of the footage in this video. There's just my thoughts on it because why? And also they're claiming people's videos and terminating videos, and I think might be handing out strikes. So, just know what we're going to do. The match, I'll put it this way. KSI won the first fight too. But they did that whole corny draw thing, which I think was a big problem on why this match wasn't as hyped up as the first one. Now, here's my thing. In my prediction video where I was talking about the low ticket sales and the low support, what I didn't realize, and Monfu Prof told me this on the Monfu podcast, which is on the Screwface Live channel. Go subscribe to that. I noticed that it wasn't just what I was saying about how they promoted the first fight. KSI made a good point and said Logan Paul doesn't have as much support, period, in his home than KSI does. And that only became realer watching the fight. They were in Los Angeles. They were in the place Logan Paul lives, resides, has his friends and family. And when they announced KSI and said London or wherever he said his place of origin, the pop in the room made me realize, oh wait, KSI definitely has way more supporters than Logan Paul. And I bring that up because it brings a good light or a narrative to what some people think is true. I think it shows what's true and what's false. Now, if you look at it, Logan Paul is huge, and you would think, dang, I would have expected there to be a louder sound when they said USA or said his name and from where he's from, or maybe he could push things better. But look at the two ways that they're really promoted in their perception in the platform or in the world. Logan Paul is damn near the cause of one of the adpocalypses. Logan Paul is hate watched. KSI is clearly not hate watched. KSI clearly has fans, right? And people think everybody hates KSI. They don't. I don't even think a massive majority of people hate KSI, but I really think Literally, there is a giant sect of even the people who subscribe to Jake Paul or talk about Jake Paul who hate him. Just look at the YouTubers. Seldom when somebody talks about Jake Paul, it's because of something positive. I also think it's super corny how most of the YouTubers use Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I think it's super corny because they be acting like they're the scourge of the internet, but they're clearly just using them to get money. But anyway, that's a whole different video for a different time. So, little tangent, but whatever. Crazy part about it, first round starts off. Now, right away, I said this match would be determined by, to me, the first round. The first couple minutes of the first round. And it was. KSI was leading with the jab. And I learned that the reach is the same, which is crazy. KSI was leading with the jab. He was snapping the jab off. Right? And what people don't realize is boxing is a scorecard sport. There's not always a spectacular knockout. It's not always super clear where someone just pummeling somebody else. That's not how boxing always works. It's scorecard. And when KSI is jabbing, setting up those jabs, bang, 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 he's scoring. Now it looked like Jake Paul was kind of jabbing too. Logan Paul. When I say Jake Paul, I mean Logan Paul. Always get them confused. But the thing I'll give both of them is they're a lot more seasoned. I can tell they're a lot better boxers now. A lot better boxers. You can tell they kind of understand the science as much. But I'm going to keep it a buck. That one or two extra boxing matches that KSI had is the difference. Because I think the next time Logan Paul fights, he's going to be even better. But KSI just looked seasoned. Not like super seasoned, but he looked from those two, he looked very seasoned. He was scoring the whole time. Scoring. Bow, bow. There's that one point where they said that KSI had landed twice as many punches as Logan. And that's because that trusty bop, bop, bop jab that he was snapping off. Not mad at that. Now I started noticing too, there was certain... KSI was on the offensive and Logan to me was on the defensive for the most of the part. KSI was the one pressing the issue, setting the mood or the tone of the fight. That's who, because he kept pursuing him. And then there's a few times where I saw KSI was throwing them big boy one. He was trying to end the match decisively. He was trying to get him a nice meaty punch, right? Cool. Now, Blue, I'm like, okay, KSI is winning this, clearly. Because he's scoring more, he's a little bit more confident, and Logan Paul started getting winded before KSI somehow. When KSI was throwing so much more, right? Now let's get to the first knockdown. The first knockdown, I think, was KSI. KSI got him, but they said it was a back of the head punch. So it was and Shannon Briggs was saying it was a slip. By the way, he said Logan Paul was the greatest boxer in the world. Really negative. Anyway, so KSI dropped him. I'm trying to recap all this in my head. KSI drops him. Boom. It doesn't count. They let him back up. Now let's talk to me about the most controversial part of the fight. The most controversial part of that fight was when Logan Paul knocked down KSI. A lot of people I even saw, and even the commentators were sitting there being like, oh, I would not have took the points away. Oh, I don't understand. Oh, it looked clean to me. It didn't look like he did it on purpose. What? Logan Paul literally cradled KSI. His head, the back of his head, and gave him like two smooth. That was the sturdiest punches he landed in the fight. But you can't cradle somebody's head in a boxing match and give him two. He gave him the two-piece. You can't do that though. Now, if Logan would not have had his other arm in play and would have just given them two, I would have been like, yo, doggy, ugh. But that was in the back of the head, and that was when you're being held. You can't do that. You can't do that. So I saw people be like, oh, they give KSI time to recover. Yeah, that's a rule, bro. You give him 5 minutes to catch his feet. That's not fair because you knocked him. I'll put it this way. A knockdown in a fight is like an objection in a courtroom. No, hold on. Watch how I tie this together. See, when somebody says something in the courtroom to the jury, and the lawyer says objection. Now, whether the judge overrules or sustains that, the jury still heard it. So they say things like strike it from the jury will basically pretend they didn't hear that. You can't. We're human beings, right? So here's the thing. Whether you knock somebody down clean or you knock them down in a way that's outside the rules, that knockdown will change the tone of the fight. Once your equilibrium gets shooken, once it gets rattled, it's rattled. So you don't just it's not Street Fighter. You don't get knocked out and then the next you get up the next round and you good to go. No, you are no longer, I'll put it this way. The person you were when you walked into this fight is no longer the person you are now, no matter where it is. So that's why boxing has to have rules like when you get knocked down cheaply or unfairly or against the rules, you got to give them time to get their win back. Because if you bring them up and even if you strike that and be like, okay, strike that, knockout, just go back and fight, KSI's at a disadvantage now because he just got knocked out and his legs are noodling. Hold up. His legs, he hitting the stanky leg, you know what I mean? By the way, shout out to Hobson and Undercover Prodigy for sending this Forever Ill shirt. Anyway, so that's what happened. KSI to me was winning the first couple matches, and then Logan Paul was slightly winning more. I think KSI started getting wind. What happened? I feel like Logan Paul got winded early and then caught his wind, and then KSI started getting winded. And it came down to a split decision where KSI won. I think KSI won that pretty clear. KSI was clearly the more seasoned boxer. He clearly knew the science of it better, and he clearly used his weapons a bit better than Logan Paul. Now, Logan Paul got into crazy shape for this, and both of these dudes get all the respect in the world. All of it. One thing I want to hear nobody say is KSI is soft or Logan Paul is soft. If there are two people on YouTube who their soft card is forever terminated and invalid, it's these two. Period. That is period. Because what's going to happen is next time KSI and Logan Paul do something that people don't like, it's going to be a bunch of people who are too scared to confront a kid who bullies them in school or confront their boss who going to sit there and talk about, What I will say is these dudes both get my honorary about that smoke card. Yeah, facts. So, this was dope to me, dope for YouTube. No matter how you feel about these people, they are pushing the platform further and further. The places that we're talking about this fight were crazy. You know what I mean? I love anytime I have the opportunity to cover YouTubers doing something like this on a massive level. It means the world, and I always will cover it. So I think they should keep going. I think they should keep doing the YouTube boxing stuff. Honestly, I think there should be other things, but we'll talk about more of that later because I want to be a part of it. I don't care about the boxing shit, but there's a lot of stuff that us as YouTubers can come together, community, and look what happens when we come together. You know what I mean? Like, comment, subscribe. We are on the road to 160,000 subscribers. If you watch this video all the way to this point, put your favorite Nicktoons show in the comment section. That's how I know. Whatever your favorite Nicktoons show was, put it in the comment section. Was it As Told by Ginger? Was it SpongeBob, Angry Beavers, I Real Monsters, Rocco's Modern Life, Kablam? Well, you got a lot. My battery about to die, but I got this whole video off, so we out. Love ya.